Okay, this week's maths homework is to be looking at word problems and using a bar model to help us solve them. Now, the first thing we need to look at when we've got a word problem is trying to find the important parts. Now, if I read this here, it says Mr. Moss has 36 tickets, Miss Scar has 12 fewer tickets. So I'm going to try and underline some of the key bits that I know I'll need to do something with, but at this point I don't actually know what. So I've got the number 36, I've got the number 12, I've got the word fewer here. Now I know fewer is going to help me out, 36 is and 12 is. Now let me see, fewer. Fewer means subtract, it means take away. So I know I'm going to be doing some sort of take away at some point. Now, A and B, there's two parts to this word problem. We're going to look at A first. How many tickets does Miss Scar have? So Miss Scar has 12 fewer tickets. She doesn't have 12 tickets. She's got 12 fewer tickets than Mr. Moss. Okay, so I know I'm going to have to do some sort of subtraction to do with 36 and 12. I know that 36 is the biggest number, so that's going to be coming first. Now I'm going to look at using a bar model to try and solve this. Myself here, Mr. Moss, I have 36 tickets. So I've got the most there, so I've got a big bar there going along. And we just do a line here to show that I've got 36. Now Miss Scar, we're not sure what she has just yet, but we know that here, this gap here, the difference between these two numbers is 12. And Miss Scar has 12 fewer than myself. So I know now that I'm going to do 36 take away 12. Now, if you can do that mentally, that's fantastic. That's excellent if you can do that mentally. If not, don't worry, you can revert back to your column subtraction. So we have our 10s and our 1s. I'm going to take away 2 from 6, leaves me with 4, and I'm going to take my 1 from the 3, leaving me with 2. 2 10s. So now I've got 24. So now I know that Miss Scar, she's got 24 tickets. Now, on to B. If we're looking back at our problem, we've solved A, but this is the second part. Now I know I've done a subtraction there. I might need to do some sort of subtraction addition, I'm not sure just yet. How many tickets do they have altogether? Now the word altogether is the big clue there, and the key language can come in the problem here, or it can come later on in the questions. Altogether is meaning add, and we know from our maths language that altogether is addition. So now I've got to do my extra bar model. So point B, I've got Mr. Moss has 36 tickets. That stayed the same right from the very start. Now Miss Scar, we now know that Miss Scar has 24 tickets. Okay? Now we don't need to put a line here because we've got this part and this part. Because we're adding, they're going to make a total of this here. So we would do our bar model like that. We're not sure just yet, but we know we want to add Mr. Moss's total of tickets and Miss Scar's to find out how many they have altogether. Again, if you can do this mentally, fantastic. Adding your 1s, adding your 10s. If you're not too sure on that, 36, add 24 with your lines. You've got your 10s and 1s. Now 6 and 4, that makes 10. So we're going to put our 0 there in our correct column. We know we're going to add on a 10 to these 10s. We've got 30 and 20, 3 10s and 2 10s. That makes 50, but we've got our other 10 there, so that will make 60. So we now know that Mr. Moss and Miss Scar have 60 tickets altogether. So we've managed to do B. Now when you're looking at this, we've finished now. It's really important that we go back and check our work. So we go back through our first bar model, making sure we've got our calculations right. Fantastic. Then we go over our second one, making sure, reverting back to it. Have I got my key language right? Did I approach it right? Did I take these away? Did I add them? Double checking. Okay? That's how you'll approach a word problem with a bar model.